Y'all are welcome to start whenever you like.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Alejandro Ramirez. I'm part of the SACNAS UH Graduate Leadership Committee, hosting this mentorship program with my other officers here, who will briefly introduce themselves as well, so you all get to know us, should you have to contact us in the future. So we're going to be discussing the mentorship program that we'll be setting up this year, and which will involve pairing you guys with an undergraduate mentee. So the program lasts from May 2021 through January 2022. We have sent out a Google form to sort of gauge everyone's research focus and interest. This is so that we can better pair you with an undergraduate that has the same research interests. However, with the forces that are the universe, we can't pair everyone with the exact interest. So we will do our best to match as closely as we can. So this is why the Google form is important. So if you have not already filled it out, I believe we have a QR code, which I'll show in a bit. So I want to, again, give some introductions. Like I said, I'm Alejandro. I'm a second-year physics PhD student at the Department of Physics. And I'll pass over to my other officer colleagues. Who wants to go?
Hey guys, I'm Larissa. I'm a first-year PhD student in the cell and molecular biology program.
Hey everyone, I'm Jacob. I go by Jake. I'm also a first year in the biochemistry PhD program.
Hi, I'm Rossi. I'm at CMB. I'm a first year graduate student.
Is that everyone?
I
Thanks,
believe
Sebastian.
that is, oh yeah, Sebastian.
Oh, sorry. Great first impressions. Hi, everyone. I'm Sebastian. I'm a second-year PhD student over at the Department of Physics.
I think that's everyone. Okay. So we'll briefly give you a rundown of what our organization is. So SACNAS stands for the Society of the Advancement of Chicanos and Native Americans in Science. So we are an underrepresented minority serving chapter-based organization. SACNAS is a national organization that has many chapter organizations around different universities across the country. And so we're primarily trying to focus on getting more underrepresented minorities in science by helping them with professional development and leadership development as well in STEM. And so one of the ways you can quickly contact us, and if you want to join, because of COVID, we have set up a Discord server where everyone can congregate and hang out and discuss whatever topic may be in mind. We have weekly game nights. We also have movie nights, but we also have channels which contain links to resources that could be useful to both undergraduates and graduate students. So I have the QR code on the right-hand side. It's not required of you if you're a part of the mentorship program, but if you do want to join and socialize with other undergrads and graduate students, it is there for you. We will also send this link out again when we send the recording of this. Just as a heads up for those who have just signed in, we will be recording this so that the SACNAS mentorship program is, like I mentioned, goes from May to the next year into January, and we will host monthly meetings and lectures once a month to discuss various aspects of the graduate application. So we're trying to help undergraduates interested in pursuing a higher degree in STEM by aiding them in the application process, which can be daunting for some undergraduates who are unaware about what graduate school is. So you do not have to attend the monthly meetings. I want to make that abundantly clear. You can if you want to, so you get an idea of what we're doing, but it is not required of you. So what is required of you is that when we pair you with a graduate student or two graduate students at most, you will assist them with field-specific questions. So if they have a question about, say, applying in a graduate program that deals with cellular molecular biology or particle astrophysics, you have to, you sort of like help them answer any questions that they may have about research, what it's like being a graduate student, your experience applying for graduate school, what worked, what didn't work in your applications, you know, stuff like that, that really helps the undergraduate gain an understanding of what the process will be like for them, and maybe like what it was like for the first semester as a graduate student, that sort of thing, and the expectations of graduate school. And so, hold on. One thing I also want to discuss is that the time commitment for this, as I mentioned in some of the emails before, it will be probably to 2 to 4 hours monthly average. So it won't be a huge time commitment, and you guys will be able to stay in contact with your mentees asynchronously, and then should meet at least twice a month with your mentee. I see that someone raised their hand.
Yeah, hi. I just have a quick question. I'm wondering if these monthly programs are going to be virtual or in person, or some combination.
Yeah, so it's going to, as of right now, they're going to be virtual.
Gotcha. Okay.
In the future, we may decide if enough people want it, that we might host it in person in the fall. I know that the university is trying to come back in person, but that again is like further
Subject
down
to
the
change,
line.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
thank you very much.
I do want to add that if you and your mentee are comfortable with meeting in person, then you're more than welcome to. You don't have to meet with your mentee online. If it's easier for you guys to meet in person, easier for you guys to meet online, y'all are welcome to do whatever works for you.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks for letting me ask a question in the middle. Sorry.
Thank you for asking it. I'll turn it over to Jake, who will go over some of the demographics of the mentees who signed up.
Thanks, Alejandro. Yeah, so I'm going to jump in here to give you a little bit of a rundown on the, as Alejandro said, the demographics that we actually had signed up. Now, we actually had pretty good participation amongst the undergraduates. We had 57 responses on our sheet. We did, however, go through and find, I believe it was about 7 repeats, Alejandro. If that's incorrect, let me know. So our actual participation's around 50 undergraduates, give or take, because I know we have a couple on a sheet that we're trying to figure out if they already signed up on the sheet, or a couple on a Excel sheet that we're using originally. We're trying to figure out if they signed up correctly. So we're sitting around 50 responses right now, bottom line. And we can see here with the breakdown, it's primarily juniors and seniors, over 90%, which is good because we were aiming more towards third, fourth year students who are going to graduate versus sophomore and freshman. We originally were talking about potentially assigning mentors to the sophomore freshmen if they wanted it. However, because we've had such a high sign up rate with juniors and seniors, we probably won't be able to allocate like a mentor to those underclassmen. That said, they're still going to be welcome to join in on the monthly meetings to kind of get an idea for graduate school, what it consists of, and then they can obviously sign up next year or the year after whenever they're going to start going into an application cycle. Go to the next slide, Alejandro. So this is a more important breakdown. This is showing you the actual breakdown per department of our mentee respondents. Now, as you can see, a majority of our applicants are coming from biology, biochemistry, engineering, physics, computer science, and mathematics in that order. Next slide. So, I know a big question, I'm sure that's on everybody's mind, is how are we assigning these mentors and mentees? Well, first and foremost, these assignments are going to take place next week, and we'll have you emailed with your assigned mentee by then. We are aiming, as you saw with that previous slide, to place these undergraduates with a mentor that best fits their interest. So that is why it is incredibly important. If you have not done so already, please fill out that Google form, which we sent. Last I checked, we were at, I think, around 13 form submitted. So we really need you to go ahead and fill out that form. I promise it's quick. It only takes about 5 minutes. There's only a few questions on it. Now, once you're assigned, introduce yourselves to those mentees as soon as possible and figure out how you're going to keep in contact with them via email, WhatsApp, Discord, whatever your two's preferences. We would prefer if you use Discord because that's the platform we use, but you're not required to, as Alejandro stated before, and you're going to be using those for your bi-weekly meetings.
Can I add something really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I put the link for the Google form and for the Discord server in the chat on Zoom. So if you guys want to take care of that, it's there for you guys.
Okay, so thanks, Alyssa, by the way, for putting those in there. Now, you're probably also wondering your responsibilities as a mentor, and Alejandro did touch on this, but this is a little more of a bigger breakdown on what you are kind of expected to do as a mentor in this program. So you are expected to check in with your mentee bi-weekly, every other week, just to see how things are going via whatever platform you've chosen. You are going to be discussing major specific graduate school application materials with them when the time comes. And that could be GRE subject tests, normal GRE tests, creation of CVs, contacting PIs, etc. There are the monthly general meetings. As it's already been stated, these are optional for you. You do not have to attend them. They're mainly for the mentees, the undergraduates. The most important responsibility, though, and I cannot stress this enough, is be reachable. Make sure you're either frequently checking that email, you're staying active on that Discord chat, whatever you're doing to maintain asynchronous communication with your mentee as well as us. Now, in terms of the timeline, so this program does span from this month into next February, technically. So this month, you'll be meeting your mentees, establishing communication. In June, your mentees are going to be choosing their programs, reaching out to potential PIs, either studying for the GRE or taking the GRE. July, I believe I said June. I hope I said June. So in July, mentees are going to be beginning compiling application materials. In August, you're going to be discussing interviews with them, developing CVs, resumes, continuing their application materials, including like personal statements, etc. Now in September, we are going to be hosting major specific workshops, and we're also going to be hosting a mental health and grad school seminar as well. So highly recommend you all to join it as well. I believe we're in the beginnings of partnering with CAPS. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but we will keep you updated as the time comes. October, the rough drafts for the mentees should be finished and in editing, which if they need your help, you will be doing so with them. November, those application materials need to be finished and they need to begin applying. December, as we know, some deadlines go into December, so they're going to finish those applications and they'll begin preparing for those interviews. Now in January, we're also going to host mock interviews for the mentees with graduate students as kind of on the panel, and we will contact you as time gets closer to that. However, if you are interested in potentially doing that, please let us know. And then February, which seems like far away, but it's really not, that's when their real interviews are going to take place, and fingers crossed they get some acceptance letters just from hopefully this program as well as your help. Another thing that we wanted to touch on today is our organization is actually hosting a NSF Graduate Research Fellowship Program workshop series over this summer. Now, this workshop is going to be helped primarily to aid graduate students and undergraduate students in applying for the NSF. And the NSF is very useful if you are a graduate student. So highly recommend you take advantage of this. But we will also be basically helping aid you in your application package through peer review. And we do have a couple of members, Alejandro being one of them, congratulations again, Alejandro, who are recipients of the NSF, and they have agreed to kind of share those application materials to give you an example of winning applications to help craft your application. Now, these are going to begin in June. So if you're interested, we're going to send out information. So please sign up for it if you are interested. That way we can get an idea of how many people are interested in this.
And have your undergrad sign up.
And have
Yeah,
your undergrads sign
so
up. That's
we'll
important
send
too.
out a Google form for you guys to sign up as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay, we also did compile a couple of questions that have been asked or we believed were going to be asked. Now, the big one is what can you expect specifically out of this program? This program is going to give you the opportunity to provide an undergraduate, obviously, guidance and advice in the exploration of, or in the application process of applying to graduate school in STEM. A big thing you can do with this is this can go on a CV as like a mentorship program. You will not be paid for this. Unfortunately, we do not have the funds to pay you. This will all be voluntary. You'll be paid with a blurb on your CV, hopefully. How will the mentors and mentees be paired? So we're going to be pairing the process based on departments and interests. That's why it's very important for you to fill out that sheet or that form, I'm sorry. And as we also stated, or as I stated earlier, there have been freshmen and sophomores that have expressed interest, but juniors and seniors are definitely receiving priority pairing as they are going to be applying in this cycle. Freshmen and sophomores aren't going to be applying for at least 1 to 2 more cycles. As Alejandro also stated earlier, we're expecting time commitments to take about 2 to 4 hours a month, but that is going to vary depending on the applicant. But we do think an average is going to be between 2 to 4 hours a month.
I can take this last one.
Yeah,
So
good.
what are the fastest, if you need to get in touch with us, you have our email, but the fastest way to get in touch with us is through the Discord app. So if the email you feel like we haven't answered quick enough, you can always go to the Discord and ask us there. How should the mentors and mentees stay in contact? Again, Discord is encouraged, but it is ultimately up to you and the mentees. So if you decide that you guys want to do Zoom or just stay on email, that's up to you. So long as there is some form of communication that has been established, and that decision should be established like before May ends. And so another question is, what if I have a problem with my mentee or my mentor? So it's completely up to you. As long as you fulfill your requirement to like aid these students in applying for their application, you are more than welcome to help them with anything else if you decide to. Again, entirely up to you. And am I allowed to mentor them after the program? Yes. Again, that depends on you and your mentee if you work out an arrangement like that. And so one last thing, if you're interested in our organization, what we do, the QR code on the left is our mailing list where you can sign up. And again, the Discord link is on the right if you want to stay in touch. So now we come to the part where we answer any other questions that we may not have answered that you guys have about the program or about us or about anything in general.
I guess I could ask another question if that's okay, or just maybe a couple, or have a discussion.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
Since it's primarily an organization for the of underrepresented minorities, I was just wondering about the demographics of the mentees. Do you have that information? Is it specifically underrepresented minorities or?
So we don't have that demographic information. We just asked major classification and what their interests were at the moment. That could be another thing we ask in the future, but as of right now, we felt like this information was more pertinent to ask first.
I was just curious, just purely out of curiosity, if there was, specifically outreaching to that community, or, I mean, everyone needs help with applying to grad school, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I think as far as how we've been operating thus far. We're a very new organization or new chapter on campus. We're only about a couple years old.
Cool.
So we're trying to kind of cast a wide net, so to speak. So
Yeah.
we just want involvement right now. Doesn't matter who.
No, that's great. That's great. I'm, like I said, just out of pure curiosity, wondering what those numbers were. And then I was just ask if there's any like no-nos. Are there any major things that like we should make sure to avoid with the mentees?
That's a good question.
Be respectful, I guess.
Yeah,
Don't be
I mean,
like,
that
you're
goes without saying.
stupid.
Don't ghost your student. Just like, I mean, try to maintain contact. Like if you know you're gonna be unavailable for like this week or like at a certain time of the day, make sure you let your mentee know ahead of time. I think that type of communication really helps to like dispel any like negative speculation that the other party may have, like, oh, this person's avoiding me, they just don't want to be my mentor anymore. Oh. And that most likely isn't the case. Like it just helps that you be upfront with them and just sort of like say, hey, I'm going to be busy for like this part of the day, so if I don't respond to you immediately, it's not because I hate you or anything.
Yeah, open communication, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't date the undergrads.
Yeah.
Not an issue for me at this stage. I'm married, so.
That's the advice we got when I did TA training, so I'll pass it on
Fair enough.
to you guys.
I kind of feel like TA like etiquette might be a good way to look at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the same etiquette you would do as a TA, just handle this the same way.
Yeah.
That'd be my opinion on it. Yeah.
This is the inaugural year of this program, right? So
Yes.
we're all learning together, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Guinea pig time.
Did you have another question? Because I think Joanna has a question.
I should pass it on. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Joanna, what's your question?
Hi, I'm new to the organization. I was seeing the different fields in the graph that you had there. I didn't see mine. So if an undergraduate hasn't signed up from my field, which by the way, it's psychology, would I still be able to mentor someone?
I think we do have one or two undergrads who signed up. It's just that I don't think it showed up on the form. I don't think they signed up through the conventional way. I have to check, but I think there is.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Also on the pie chart, the sliver might have been a little bit small for it to actually like put the thing on there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we did have a majority. Since like it was such a large majority, there was a few that just didn't show up when we did the pie chart. So
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Mhm.
For the big group meetings, are you all planning to discuss like some of the major parts of the application? Because I know we're going to be directing them and helping them in the pieces of the graduate application, like writing a CV or whatever. But I'm wondering if we're responsible for kind of the whole thing, or if you all kind of take the lead on that in these big meetings, and then we kind of guide them through, or what's kind of the logistics on that?
So what we're essentially doing is we're sort of introducing and covering each major application component. So like a personal statement, and what's the difference between a statement of purpose and a personal statement and a research statement. We're going to tell them like the bare components that you need, the basic components that you'll need for each one. Some examples of how some are written that they have access to. Same with like CVs and resumes. Basically, the job of the mentor will be to like address any like how should I say, any stylings that a statement of purpose in physics should be compared to like biology or psychology or chemistry. So you'll be there to test like, okay, well, you'll sit them down and say, okay, now you've covered statement of purposes. What do you know? You should start drafting one. You should sort of like help them, guide them to like write it, but not like do it for them. Like you don't want to show them, like just hold their hand all the way. Just nudge them in the right direction. Make sure that and just like review maybe the statement of purpose to see like, okay, this is good, this is what works, this is what doesn't work, this is a big no-no that you should not write in your statement of purpose, that sort of deal. So you won't be like writing it for them. They should be doing it. You'll just like be there to be like a lab TA answering questions, that sort of deal.
Yeah. I think a good way to look at it is like you guys have the schedule for our monthly meeting. So a good way to look at it is we're giving them the bare bones, like the big picture, and y'all guys are giving them specifics for your field. And another thing that I do want to add to what Alejandro was saying was a good way to go about the statements and stuff like that is to have them like use Google Drive or OneDrive or something so that they can write the thing and then send it to you and be like, hey, like this is what I wrote. Can you like put comments on it or something like that? That's what I do with my PI and it seems to work pretty well, especially if you're planning on doing remote mentoring as well. I know a couple of people are going that route.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, some kind of editing paradigm. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Any other questions? Questions, concerns, just comments?
I will actually jump in with one comment as a graduate committee member. I just want to thank everyone who has signed up for this. Like seriously, like thank you so much for being involved with this, and we are very excited to work with you. So I think hopefully this goes very well, and I think it will.
Yeah, I know it seems to be the sentiment for everyone in the graduate committee that we would have really appreciated the help when we were applying to graduate schools. So we hope that we can kind of extend that that assistance to undergraduates who are planning on applying this cycle and in the future as well.
Yeah, same. I don't think there was like really like a workshop at UH when I was an undergrad that sort of helped me apply for graduate school. I just had to learn it on my own. So hopefully we can, in the future, the future undergrads don't have to undergo that same process of not knowing.
All right, y'all.
Okay. 31 minutes. Did good. All right. If there are any questions, we can end it right here. Thank you all so much for coming. Again, if you have questions after the fact, you're more than welcome to email us or reach out in any other way.
We'll stick around for a little while. If you have questions that you don't want to ask in front of everyone else, we'll stick around for a while and I'll stop recording.
Yeah, good idea.
I do also believe a few people joined a little late. We did record this meeting and we will send out a YouTube link, just heads up, so you can kind of see all the information that we've portrayed.
All right. See some of y'all on Discord. See some of y'all later.